In the last topic, you were challenged to induce the flow. This required that you stretch your skill sets around a challenging goal, that goal being something that you really love doing. Now, as you do this, you will be required to work with a growth mindset. Now, in this topic, we will explore the growth mindset versus the fixed mindset, and we will also look at the 4 elements of beingness that contribute towards a growth mindset. So, what is a growth mindset as opposed to a fixed mindset? Well, a growth mindset is the belief that intelligence can be trained and the most basic abilities can be developed through dedication and hard work, whereas a fixed mindset, fed by our limiting core beliefs, is the belief that basic qualities like intelligence and talent are fixed traits which cannot be changed. A fixed mindset leads to a desire to look smart, whereas a growth mindset leads to a desire to learn and grow. The difference between these two mindsets determines whether we will take on those stretch goals and learn new skills or not. Because of the fixed mindset's desire to look smart, we will avoid challenges so we do not look foolish, whereas a growth mindset will embrace challenges because they are our teachers and we will grow through the experience. One thing is certain, life will provide its obstacles and setbacks when we set ourselves goals and challenges. A fixed mindset will give up easily, and a growth mindset will persist in the face of these setbacks because it sees these setbacks as part of the learning process. When it comes to the effort required to achieve these goals, a fixed mindset will perceive effort as fruitless, or worse, you are either smart or you are not. And if you must put effort in, it means it is not within your capabilities, whereas a growth mindset perceives effort as the path to mastery. When it comes to feedback or criticism, a fixed mindset ignores useful feedback because it has the attitude of I am either right or I am wrong, and the fixed mindset does not like being wrong, whereas the growth mindset welcomes critical feedback because it learns from this criticism. When it comes to the success of others, a fixed mindset will feel threatened by others' success, whereas a growth mindset will be inspired and learn from the success of others. Finally, when it comes to making mistakes, which we all will make when rising to the challenge, a fixed mindset will hide these mistakes, whereas a growth mindset will capitalize on them. Consequently, a fixed mindset does not reach their full potential and they plateau early, whereas a growth mindset will achieve ever higher levels of potential as they practice continuing learning. One of the important qualities of a growth mindset is that there is higher intrinsic motivation, whereas a fixed mindset looks to the external world to be motivated. A person with a growth mindset will rise to a challenge to grow themselves, the financial result being secondary, resulting in a healthier well-being because their motivation is internal, whereas a person with a fixed mindset relies on this external environment for that motivation, which is very risky. There may not be that validation, or there may not be that bonus which affects how they feel about themselves, reinforcing this fixed mindset. Developing our growth mindset requires we first believe that we can change our abilities and intelligence, and that there will be effort, obstacles, and setbacks involved. Even just realizing there's such a thing as a growth mindset allows you to learn a growth mindset. Our limiting core beliefs drive our fixed mindset. So also pay attention to any limiting core beliefs which may be feeding your fixed mindset. And as you notice them, question the assumptions as you did in topic 20 and turn the belief around. Change the meaning to change the feeling. Now there are also the 4 elements of beingness that support our growth mindset. These include vulnerability, humility, accountability, and honesty to yourself. So let us explore why these are important. A growth mindset requires that we embrace vulnerability. Vulnerability is traditionally seen as a weakness. However, when we are doing something new and being creative with our lives, we will face the unknown, which itself is a highly vulnerable process. The VUCA environment itself requires we embrace vulnerability as a way of life. If we are not vulnerable, we feel we must know everything, and if we do not, we feel we are not good enough, inhibiting our personal growth and well-being. You have been required to be vulnerable to do the exercises in this course when you worked with emotional agility, your base fears, and with your inner voices, for example. Brené Brown said, vulnerability is not winning or losing. It's having the courage to show up and be seen when we have no control over the outcome. As for humility, there is always something we can learn, and humility may require that we unlearn what we have learned. It was Alvin Toffler who said, "The illiterate of the future are not those who can't read or write, but those who cannot learn, unlearn, and relearn." When we embrace humility, our mistakes and painful experiences become our teachers, and the challenges we face give us the opportunity to learn, unlearn, and relearn as required. A humble question we can ask ourselves in the face of mistakes or setbacks is, what does life require of me right now? Honesty to oneself is important. This prevents us from self-deception. If we do not allow ourselves this honesty, we may convince ourselves we do not need to learn, preventing us from achieving our potential. This prevents cognitive dissonance, where we convince ourselves we are always right. When you work with your habits and patterns that no longer served you, you were required to be honest with yourself so that you could notice these and make the necessary changes. When you work with the self-reflection around your hot buttons or the drama triangle, when things did not go according to plan, you were required to be honest with yourself to see what you could do differently the next time. If you weren't honest, there would be no change. It was Vince Lombardi who said, "The successful man is himself. To be successful, you've got to be honest with yourself." Finally, the fourth element of beingness is that of accountability. Only you are accountable for your well-being, change, and growth. No one else is. When things do not work out as planned, it is only you who determines whether you persevere through them or not. When you work with the WHOOP methodology, you are being accountable when you ask what obstacles are within you that prevent you from achieving your wish. Steve Maraboli said, "As for the journey of life, at some point you will realize that you are the driver and you will drive." Now in exercise 2, workbook 9, you've been provided with some reflective questions that will help challenge you to take on this growth mindset, especially as you start moving towards the goal that you set in the previous topic. And you'll also be required to work with this growth mindset for the challenge in the next topic, which is around your personal vision. Now, as we finish off, I leave you with a wonderful quote by Dale Carnegie. "Most of the important things in the world have been accomplished by people who have kept on trying when there seemed no hope at all." So I will see you in the next and final topic of this course, and until then, take care and stay aware.